Hey, it's Ken Scott talking about the Atlanta Harvest of Magic. Our convention is taking place September 11th through 13th. We hope you can join us. Our website is www.atlantaharvestofmagic.com. We've got a great lineup. Christopher Hart, Jay Johnson, and Bob. You may have seen him from Soap. Harry Anderson, obviously from Night Court. Rob Zerbrecki, John Armstrong, Lee Asher, Charles Pecor, Mark Mason, Nathan Cranzo, and Ice McDonald. We're excited about this convention. There's going to be some lectures, close-up shows, gala shows, workshops, and we're having a contest, a close-up/parlor contest. We hope you can be a part of that. And also we have some incredible dealers. You can check out the dealers on our website, which again is atlantaharvestofmagic.com. Right now we're going to be joined with our friend Lee Asher, and just going to talk a little bit more about his appearance at the Atlanta Harvest of Magic. He'll be with us lecturing and also performing for the close-up show. So we hope to see you. Thanks a lot. Hello, everybody. We are joined with Lee Asher. Everybody knows Lee Asher. Lee, how are you doing?
I am great. Thank you so much for letting me come on and speak to your peeps today.
It's good to hear from you. I haven't seen you in many, many years, but we have some stuff in common. We used to work together. We used to work for a magic shop in Florida. You were from Florida. Where about in Florida are you from?
Originally, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
And I grew up in the IBM and SAM rings down there because my dad is a magician, as you know.
Yep.
Then in the summer times, I would go up to Daytona Magic, and I would live with Irv Cook and his family, and I would be one of those young guys that would pack the van, and then we'd drive to the lecture, and then I'd unpack the van, and then I'd set all the lecture up for Harry and Irv, and then they would do the lecture, and I'd help with the sales, and then I'd pack the van.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's just like deja. This is what I did. I did the same thing, but I think I was like 2 years before you. I lived in Atlanta, and I'd move down there the day I get out of school, and I would live with Irv and his family, and would spend the time on the road and go to conventions and pack the van, unload the van, pack the van, drive the van when I turned 16.
Yep.
That's a whole other story. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think there's a lot of people that came out of that Daytona Magic. You know, you came out of there. I did. Chad Long.
Right. There's a whole lineage of guys that actually, it was like that's where we paid our dues.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right.
I learned how to set up lectures with them. I learned how to sell product. I learned about the logistics of everything. I mean, it was a fantastic learning experience. Did their thing, and we moved in different directions, and then it was time for me to come back to the United States. And so when I came back stateside, I realized I could live anywhere. And where did I want to live? I wanted to be on the West Coast, but I didn't want to live in California. I didn't want to go back to Las Vegas. So Oregon really kind of spoke to me. I had a couple of friends out there. I didn't know many people, but I had a couple of good friends, and so I just decided to pack the car and drive across, and I made Oregon my home.
That was great. And that's where you started the Excellent Lecture Series. Is that right?
Correct.
That was a great series you put together. And how many years did it run?
It ran for 9 years. I just gave it a couple of years ago, and it's actually still running. It's just not called the Excellent Series anymore. It's called the Can-Am Lecture Series now.
Okay.
Because of the way that I set everything up, the clubs and the everyone really just they liked it, and they didn't want to let it go. And I said to them, "Look, guys, you don't have to stop playing poker. I just can't be your dealer anymore."
Right.
And so they got it, and they said, "That's fantastic. Can we use the blueprints?" And I went, "Absolutely. That's what it's for." I gave them all of my paperwork. I showed them how I did it. I even gave them a list of guys that were waiting to come on tour. And so they have taken it over without missing a beat. And I'm really proud of the region. I'm really thrilled that they've decided that it is a good thing. And so I'm just excited that they're still continuing to do it.
I can't remember what year I did it, but it was a cold winter park. I remember being in Canada up in Edmonton when it was 20 below zero.
Yeah.
And here's a Georgia boy that Lee sent me on a tour, and there I'm up in Edmonton freezing. But it was a crazy experience that I truly never will forget. I mean, the Canada people were just very open up there. They loved the lectures up there in Canada.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you had a good time, and you're not the first one to say that. Most everyone that ran this tour really had a great time, made some good money, and had a wonderful experience, and met people that they will know for the rest of their lives. Because the Pacific Northwest, including Canada, Western Canada, they are pretty friendly.
Yeah.
And the way that the series was set up is that each of the cities worked together. They worked in conjunction with each other. They weren't working against each other. So there was a lot of love. Winnipeg made sure that Edmonton got the same guy. Edmonton made sure that Eugene, Oregon had the same. Like, everyone was working together for the bigger picture. And And you don't see that often. You don't really see that often. And it didn't happen overnight. It took me a couple of years. It took, a lot of discussion, a lot of emailing, a lot of phone calling. But once everyone was on the same page, we all benefited. We all had something really special.
Yeah,
and
it was neat.
I'm really happy that they're still doing it.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're going to get out and you're going to come to our small little convention here in Atlanta in September, the Atlanta Harvest. And I can't remember the last time you came through Atlanta. I mean, you lectured here probably years and years ago. Would you say?
Years ago, Eddie's Trick Shop, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But talking about the Atlanta Harvest, I used to come as a kid.
Oh, did you?
I would come and take, because my aunt, I have family in Atlanta.
Okay.
So any chance that we would get, my father would take me up there, and if we could knock out seeing family and a Magic convention at the same time,
it was a win-win. That's
a two-bird with one stone move.
Yeah.
So I am really excited to get back to Atlanta, and my father will be there too.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a warm, special thing. Not just because we're gonna have a great time and do some awesome lobby stuff, and I actually have a couple new things I want to show the peeps in Atlanta. But like I say, my dad will be there, and there's a lot of history that we'll get to relive. So that's really exciting.
That's great. The Atlanta Harvest was one of my first conventions I went to as a 10-year-old, and so I got to sit at the table with. Because I was a kid, so they need to put a small person at a table to see Del Rey work and Slidini work. And so that was my first experience at a convention. We're seeing those two guys. And so I was very lucky growing up in the Atlanta Harvest. So Atlanta Harvest means a lot to me, too. So it sounds good coming from you as well, because I think the Atlanta Harvest went on for many years and has a lot of fond memories for a lot of people. So we're excited about having it. You're going to be a part of it. You're going to be doing. You're going to be part of the close-up show. And you're going to be doing your lecture. So what can the attendees expect from Lee Asher, except from you're excellent as always, but what is some of the stuff they can expect?
Well, like I say, I have a couple of new pieces that I want to try out. Mostly you'll see that in the lobby.
Okay.
One of the things that I learned as a kid was some of the best memories are formed in the lobby.
Absolutely.
The shows are great, the lectures are great, the convention's a good time, but really what we talk about for years to come will be what happens in the lobby. And that's my home, man. I love it there. I love the lobby. So if you're coming to the Atlanta Harvest, please make sure that you hang out in the lobby. And we're going to go all night. I have no problem staying up till the early morn, showing Magic, sharing Magic, discussing Magic, because that's what I love to do, man.
And we all know that I've got Lee down. His first lecture is at 7:30 a.m. One morning, so that's going to be great because he hangs out to about 5 in the morning, so he'll be in good shape.
Look, anytime you give me to talk to people about Magic, I'll take it. But 7:30 in the morning, just feels slower than if
I was always. It's like Chad Long. Chad Long says, "Ken, put me anytime you want, just not between 7 and 12." So. We'll know good, but it's gonna be fun. You got some great stuff, and your material I would say it was more cards, close up. Would you say it's more for corporate use, restaurant strolling kind of thing?
Absolutely. I've got stuff for all skill levels.
Okay.
So if you're just getting into Magic, come see me. If you've been in Magic for 20 years, come see me because I've got material for the entire spectrum.
Okay.
But mostly my love is cards, and I'll do other stuff too, but for when you see me on the show or when you see me talking at the lecture, the majority will be cards.
Great. Now, is there a website they can go and see Lee Asher?
Sure. Very easy. Go to leeasher.com.
Okay. And they can sign up for your newsletter? You have a newsletter, I believe.
If you're on my mailing list, you would have already heard about the Atlanta Harvest because a couple weeks ago I sent out a mailing to everyone saying, come hang out with me and party with me in Atlanta.
Great. Thank you.
So I hope that helped. I hope that some of my peoples will show up and we will have a fantastic time.
We will have a blast. Well, we will see you in September. We appreciate it. You being a part of our convention for the first time. It's been away for 8 years, but we're glad you're a part of the coming back.
Yeah, I'm excited to be on the bill with Cranzo. I'm excited to be on the bill with John Armstrong. I'm excited to be on the bill with Zabrecki. So this is going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it should be, and we look forward to it. So we'll see you in a couple months. All right.
Definitely, Ken. Thanks for the call.